has had to beat some tough opponents, so has Deto. These guys, they know each other well. Where would you put your money? Timox with a 6-5 epic against Principe. Deto looks solid player throughout his semi-finals. It's a real tough one to call between the two.
It is, but I think that Deto overall, if you take the whole tournament, if you take group stage, if you add everything in there, honestly, I think that Deto is possibly the stronger of these two players right now. However,
consistency, Timox, this is the second PlayStation Grand Final he's been in. He was there at FUT Champions in Berlin, lost to Eggshells on penalties. So certainly Mr. Consistent in 2017. He was also runner-up at ESWC as well.
Yeah, and as I said right at the start of this tournament, I think the first game we actually did with Timox in there, that this is a guy that's been so close to winning so often this year.
He could have been absolute grand champion of 2017.
At some point, that has to come, whether that's this weekend or whether he has to wait until FIFA 18. I guess we're going to start to build a bit of an image of that one in our minds. Of course, it is Timo playing in the home white of Germany from left to right. Deto in the EA Sports kit. It's a black and red / grey, I suppose you could say, from right to left.
Barcelona-esque.
Yeah, exactly. And a nice little start possession-wise. 7 minutes in here for Timox. What's he going to do? He's going to throw it in there. Courtois having to stretch fully for that one. And in the end, a very sure pass back there from Deto. And just looking at some of his goals from that last game, from that semi-final, the guy looks absolutely unstoppable. Yeah,
there was a solid play, I think it's safe to say. Mo Aubameyang had some real big chances in there in that semi-final. Obviously went 3-2 for a long portion, had that disallowed goal, and then went straight back up the other end, didn't it? And Deto buried the hatchet, as it were. Chance blocked for a corner. Timox in the white trying to defend at the moment as Conte cuts it back across to Lacazette. Deto, one of the few players using Lacazette, by the way, and very successfully. Obviously got a hat-trick for him in that first leg in the semi-final. Just a reminder, we will only be doing the first leg today of the PlayStation and Xbox finals. Second legs will be tomorrow, along with, of course, that cross-console epic that will culminate in $200,000. And we shouldn't talk down the fact that they will get an invite to that FIFA event. Obviously the first time they've separated from the Ballon d'Or, so you get to rub shoulders with your Ronaldos, your Messis, etc. You only need to look at the pictures on Twitter, social media from past champions just to see how epic that prize actually is. It's one that you can't buy. You can't buy. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's a huge part of that prize pool as well, in all honesty. I think for everyone who remotely even cares about football as a whole, that would be something really special to be at. Let's also not forget that these two players were in the same group together.
Yep.
That game ended 2-1 in favour of Deto. Of course, Timox did finish slightly above Deto in the groups though, albeit by just 1 point, but it all comes down anyway into this grand final. As you rightly mentioned, this first leg that we're seeing now will be obviously played tonight. Second leg will come tomorrow as another little chance there, a glimmer maybe of a chance for Timox to send a man through. Was easily dealt with by the defence.
Switching the wings back and forward. Deto trying to work something, pull a couple of players forward before he goes for one of those searching balls. I'm really interested to see how it's going to work, because think of Timox, obviously think of his match against Principe, the 6-5 epic. It was very much based upon players attacking him and he counter-attacked. Well, Deto's not really building on that, so it's going to have to go a very different style here. It's down to Timox really to effectively be the aggressor and Deto to counter. Corner here for Timox. Scored, of course, one in the 85th minute in the semi-final from a header from Sergio Ramos. This time it's Courtois flying with the punch. It's fell for Suarez to Ronaldo. And Courtois parries for a second corner.
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming here for Timox. Looks like we're going to see another one thrown in the box here. It's Messi that's switched to the kick taker. Will be front post, and again just knocked away for another corner. And if something's not broke, well, there's no need to fix it. He's going to go exactly for that one again. This time though, Courtois more central in terms of his positioning, and he's able to collect.
been a lot of talk about goalkeepers. Diego Courtois, Diego De Gea. Seems to be the two flavours, really, of this tournament, at least. Manuel Neuer occasionally gets a nod, which, you know, I think of real-life terms, it's insanity for me to think of Neuer but not being first choice, but that's how it is at the moment. Timox trying to get the ball back from Deto at the moment as he works it through. Lacazette, he's got a runner on the right, and that's where it's going. Valencia to try and cut back. Lose his marker. Marcelo sticking to him like a little terrier on the leg. Marcelo does win it back in the end. And now it's a counter chance for Timox.
Yep, going to use Messi there to try and send one running, but in all honesty, strength of the defence keeping him out there. Big ball over from Sergio Ramos right to the feet of Valencia. And Deto, no rush for him here, building up slowly. Not exactly ideal, but will fall kindly for him. Went to Ronaldo, had enough power on it so that they couldn't control it, and there's another big ball over the top. Certainly loves to play cross field as Ronaldo now, edge of the box, into Pogba, he's going to have a shot, it takes a deflection and Courtois will get down, and it's a corner for Deto.
Yeah, first real chance for Deto as well, just before half-time. It took him a while to get going. Kante back in, Ronaldo turns, he'll scoop, but straight into the path of Marcelo. Counter-attack chance here, Ronaldo down the wing to Neymar, back through. The runner from Suarez looking for Ronaldo to work it through, but Sergio Ramos through the back flex the ball, and Deto continues. We expected this to be a fairly defensive affair, bit of a midfield battle between the two, and that's exactly how it started out in the first leg.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd guess that possession being around 50-50, if not maybe a slight advantage here for Deto, which I'm sure I'll be totally wrong at when we get to half-time, of course. But here we go then, into the end of the first half. And yeah, indeed, Deto having about 62% of possession there. So, you know, he's had more of the ball. Has he had more chances with?
Really tell the whole story, does it?
No.
But here we go. Second half underway in the PlayStation Finals.
Yeah, and this would be great. You know, this is something we always talk about, the whole mental game in FIFA, but I feel that these divisional finals have a whole added element to them. The fact that we're playing the first leg today and the second leg tomorrow. Now, if you're up after the first semi-final, after the first leg, of this final, which almost was the case there for Deto. If you're up after this first leg, you can almost sleep safe tonight, but I think the guy behind is going to be spending a night tossing and turning and wondering exactly how he's going to get back into the game tomorrow. So this first leg performance, you know, we said earlier on in the day that you can't really draw a comparison to real life football because they're playing right after each other. It's almost like one big game. Whereas I think these divisional finals being split to tomorrow, I think there's more of a parallel there.
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely. You're looking at your home and away fixtures. You know, you've travelled somewhere abroad to get that first matchup. You find yourself 1-0 down, and obviously going back to your home turf. Or similar situation tomorrow. You're all going to have your entourage behind you. I think it's safe to say entourage for the German players, because they do have a massive support, certainly. And these guys, well, it's one of those moments. Do you feel safe on a 1-0? You know, you're still not going to sleep too heavily on a 1-0 lead. It is Deto trying to build up slowly on the right of the pitch. Timox, I should say, trying to go for one of those big long through balls that he's been doing all tournament long.
Yeah, and experience, I think, plays a factor in here. I think Timox has built so much experience this year. That's incredible, the way that he's been able to push so far in most, if not all, tournaments really that he's been around in. But if you look at Deto, his experience just stretches years and years and years back to being world champion back in the days of World Cyber Games in 2011, 2012. So
I mean, you're saying
history
years.
Is there.
It was 7 years ago, but we're going to have to stretch a lot further to find an English champion. That's for sure. Chance once again blocked out. It is a defensive performance from both teams. 63 minutes gone. I'm not going to say masterclass because it's far from that, I feel. It's just people not really taking their chances, and that's what this game could be about. Chances are coming little, few and far between, I think is the phrase I'm after. But you've got to take those chances. And if you were to look at the Janos matchup, he had probably dozens of chances really to score, just didn't really capitalize on them, which kind of followed that penalty error. And that's sort of the mental game that comes in. And at the moment, it stays a slow build-up once again for Deto, and it works through. You know, if you're keeping the possession stats offside, I think.
Yeah, I think he noticed that anyway right away as soon as it went through, so there's not too much effort actually put into making sure that one hit the back of the net. But only 20 minutes to go in game, and still no one able to put the ball away. A lot of this passing possession game that we've seen from both of these players, and it just feels like a mistake at this point is what's going to open things up.
Well, 20 minutes to go. A cagey performance between the two PlayStation divisional finalists. Germany versus Germany. And it could potentially be another German on the Xbox side in the finals. We'll find out. Of course, that's Germany versus England. I think we always know which way that goes. Let's hope it changes. It changes a little in FIFA. We've got a great British hope. He has a big entourage, to be fair. Obviously, we are in London. And the last champion that we had in FIFA was in London. A chance, and it's a goal! Deto breaks the deadlock on the 75th minute. It was a slow build-up. But it has finally worked out, and it's a match with little shots between both players, and it's eventually fallen for Ronaldo. The keeper came off his line, and it is such tight margins that it may just be a winner.
And that's the incredible thing at this stage, that a 1-0 honestly could be enough to put them through into that grand final. Of course, we're going to be seeing some changes here. It looks like it will be Timox to do so, but that age-old question comes in: how much do you change here? You know, how aggressive do you go? How wild do you go? Indeed, because you know, going into the second leg 1-0 down is a lot better than 2-3, even more down. This is that goal again. You see from Kante back there, and this is the interesting part. He pulls two defenders right into him, which just gives all that space to Ronaldo, threads him through, and well, it's an easy finish there. In the end, you see them both move straight towards him.
He just shuffled, like I said, he was offside, just shuffled, and then got himself back onside just as the ball was played to him. So Deto almost had to hold up the pass, waiting for Lacazette to get back onside, and sets up the goal for Ronaldo. It's been Lacazette, ironically, that has been the main man for Deto. Not really too many using that player of the season card, but Timox now sat waiting. It's Deto having a little flick through. You can see Deto's making the changes. Defensive switching between them. They are just to the right of us. We have full vision of exactly what they're doing. You can see, is there going to be a change? There is, I believe, a change. All you see in there, that's Timox in, looking almost bored as he keeps cycling through the ratings of the players. With, 15 minutes to go? Still plenty of time to come back and get himself an equaliser.
Enough time to win, or enough time for Deto to really open the gap between the two. But we'll find out. Subs are coming in.
Defensive change for Deto.
Ball over the top, very direct stuff. Mane coming on for Neymar. Angolan for Messi. Son on for Pogba. Talvin taken away. There's a shot. Oh, he's hit the post. He's hit the post so close. There's a second shot as well. And that's going to be gutting for Timox. I thought it was more inside of the post and he might get lucky off it, but came out. There was no one really there to follow up fully on the rebound. But he's got a corner. He'll take that shot out to the edge of the box. David Luiz is going to fire one, and David Luiz can put him in from that kind of range if he gets the opportunity. Not this time, though. It's knocked away for another corner.
He has the power. Nangolan again. Looks like another short one. No, he's going to take the shot. He's got the header before, remember. This time, ooh, just a little edge back. Ronaldo being chased into the corner, but he plays it out calmly to Valencia, and that cross over the head of Kyle Walker, I believe. Ronaldo. Quick foot passing goes astray. Marcelo holds off his man, but Nangolan slides in. Just 7 minutes remaining in this first leg of the PlayStation Divisional Final.
Tense stuff for Timo. Drawing it all up would mean that best player tomorrow obviously is going to win, and I think both of them would sleep a lot better if they can manage that. Kante through here onto the top side for Marcelo. There's plenty of space for him as well. Where does he go? Cuts inside, he's got another man to beat. Tries to drag it across, but positioning was already there from Timox to collect, to clear away. And Deto, he'll be happy with this 1-0. I'm not sure he meant to do that though. It was a bit of a shake of the head.
It's Deto making changes once again. We're just looking across. This is, I mean, it's all a mental game, isn't it, really, as well? Just run the clock down, frustrate your opponent, look to make changes. It's actually making Timox make some changes as well now. He's just thinking, yeah, why not? Why not? Suarez off, Martial, Mane, switching Ronaldo around, switches them back. Little adjustments, pushing them forward. He's thinking, you know, I'm going for it. Just looking through, he's gone the wings. He's pulled the midfield back, hasn't he, and pushed the wings forward by the looks of it there. I think I just saw shuffling. They're pretty quick. They're pretty quick. You've got to have fast eyes to spot where they're going.
I mean, there's 3 minutes left in this one. He's going to get possession back now thanks to that pass that went a bit stray from Deto. But there's not exactly a lot of time for him to build on it. One decent build-up probably left in it. He gets himself another throw.
Getting the yardage.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's gone.
Came off him.
That's basically that then.
Extra time, 3 minutes. Not a great deal, is that? Song Heung-min plays it. Crossfield ball. Marcelo. Deto just going to close this one out. Around the back. Frustrate Timox. Looking for that possession. Ball just played into the corner. Keep your possession. Frustration from Timox. He realises there's nothing he can do. It's 1-0 in the first leg of the PlayStation Divisional Finals. The second leg will conclude tomorrow. It is anguish for Timox overnight, and Deto going to be sleeping only just